What up, my good people in the YouTube world and beyond? You already know who it is, and you already know what it is, man. It's the OutLIer B, and we write black about you cats with another, another video. And this was a fast week, y'all. It's already Friday. It's Friday. You ain't got no job, and you ain't got SHIT to do, my people. So that's right. I'm gonna get y'all high today. We gonna get high today, man. We gonna get high. We got somebody on the check-in, Rubik's Cube Pro. Say, hi, bro, what's going on, Rubik's Cube? I remember your name from maybe last week or maybe the week before that. You came on here, you said what up to the kids. So I'm saying what up back, man. How's your week going so far? How's your week going so far? You know? My week has been straight. Got those arrows pointing in the right direction. I'm feeling good, y'all. Feeling real good. Rubik's Cube said, yeah, and not bad. That's what I like to hear, my people. That's exactly what I like to hear. You know? We got a pretty good episode lined up for you. We're going to talk about an ancient tale. This is about, sometimes they switch it up with Jesus' name. Sometimes they switch it up with prophets. But we're speaking about the prophet who was down in the village, close to the market. And I know I'm creating my own little part of it, but the main parts of the story stay the same, my people. The main parts of the story will stay the same. And we're going to get into that and what it ultimately means. We most definitely going to get into that. I'm going to tell y'all that I'm not going to be on here next week. And I also got some updates for the page. So, my boy Rubik's Cube said, bro, in Slovakia, it's 10:36. Oh, in Slovakia. Shout out to the people in Slovakia. 10:36 a.m. or 10:36 p.m. We got Unstructured. My boy Big Mott. He said, we're going to get high today because it's Friday and we ain't got SHIT to do in the morning. Okay, it's 10:30 in the morning. But yeah, Mott, exactly. It's Friday. You ain't got no job and you ain't got SHIT to do, man. So I'm going to get y'all high today. We're going to get high today, man. We're going to get high, you know. And what y'all got planned over the weekend? What do you guys have planned over the weekend? I'm just chilling, man. Chilling. I'll give y'all some page updates. I dropped my video on that 1977 blackout, which happened out here in NYC. The blackout of 1977. We got somebody on the check-in. Somebody said, that Cobb 4812 said, nice walk. Thanks, my brother. Thanks. It's 4:37 out here on these streets of Freeport, New York, out here in Nassau County, a suburb of New York City. We about 30 minutes away from Queens and about 45 minutes to an hour away from Manhattan. You know, we got somebody else on the check-in. Tour 93 said, hey, bro, when we see the new mixtape of yours? Nah, ain't no mixtapes of me, man. Ain't no mixtapes of me. You might see some videos of me floating around from 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago of me freestyling up here. But that lifestyle is done, man. I'm a 46-year-old man. No more freestyling. If I'm feeling good, if I'm feeling right, you know, the mood is right, somebody throw on a crazy beat, you might catch me freestyling every now and then, man. You know, I don't do it often, but you might catch me freestyling every now and then, man. Every now and then, you know. We got somebody else on the check-in. Pokemon Pocket Open 19 said, I am gay. Okay, that's your sexual preference. That's your lifestyle. Big up to you. Tor said, I remember watching those videos of you freestyling as a kid. You ain't no way you saw that, man. Ain't no way you saw that. Because I did post a video up back in the day of me and my cousin Ace. It was back in like 91. Back in like 91, I had my little flat top chilling. My cousin, he sat at his flat top. He was chilling. We were singing a children's story by Slick Rick. You hear that? What is that? Oh, that's somebody listening to music. Y'all hear that? You hear that? My boy Pokemon said it is midnight. All right, cool. Tor said, dude, your cousin sent me those videos the other day. You funny. You hilarious, man. He sent them the videos of us freestyling back in the day. Nah, my cousin, he sent that to you, man. He don't even got the originals. You know? We do got originals though. VHS tapes, man. VHS. From way back in the day, from those birthday parties from back in like 1990. We got one from 89, and we having a dance contest. There's some funny videos that the family still goes back and watch, man. They're hilarious to go back in that time to see exactly what you were doing during that time. And it's interesting because one of those videos, I'm gonna tell y'all about it. My boy Daniel Sports Game. What up, Daniel? How you feeling? He said, happy Friday. What's up, everybody? We all chilling. I'm glad you made it to the chat, man. It's not official unless you come, man. It's not official unless you come. Pause. It's not official until you come into the chat and speak to the people. You know, my boy Tara said, that's what I'm saying, man. He actually gave me copies of those VHS. Yo, you a funny dude, man. When was you born? In 93? You was born in 93, my man? These videos were like 2-3 years older than you. So we was taking those joints back in like 89, yo. 89, 90. So if you was born in 93, those videos are older than you, kid. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. You know, but my cousin ain't sent that to you, man. Yeah. So, yeah, recently we've been dropping a lot of stuff on the page with different videos. I dropped a video again on the blackout of 1977. Right now, we're building a pretty good library of things for you guys to watch. So again, if you're bored at night or if you're working, let's say you're a truck driver. Let's say you just want something to relax to. I'm gonna put together a couple playlists where I go over my documentaries, where I speak about different things. One was about Mayor David Dinkins. I spoke about him. I spoke about the 1977 blackout. I also spoke about, what else I speak about? Spoke about a bunch of stuff. The copycat serial killer who was out here, the Zodiac from East New York. He was out here acting crazy in the streets. We spoke about a lot of stuff, man. I want to do an ultimate video on the birth of hip hop. And this one is going to take some time because in order to show hip hop the respect that I feel that it gets and that it deserves, it's going to take, you know, me writing it in a way that shows my unique upbringing with hip hop. You know, it's only a story that I can tell. You know, you guys watch other documentaries, it's just public information. But when you watch my joints, I'm gonna give you what the real feeling of the streets were. You know, I got a 9/11 video I want to speak about because I remember 9/11 vividly. I want to speak about Hurricane Sandy that happened over here. That was another crazy time that happened. Just a few things like that. So my boy Terry said, your cousin is sitting next to me, man, asking you to get your facts straight. You a funny, man. You a funny dude, son. You don't know my cousin. I know you don't know my cousin. What state you from? Where you from, man? I'm going to tell you if you know my cousin right now. What state are you from, man? Let the people know what state are you from and what city are you from, man. Yeah, no? Yeah. So just keep checking the video today. I'm going to drop what to do in New York this week. So if you're visiting New York City or you live in New York City, we're going to give you some advice on where to take your significant other or wait. What? He said, I've known Ace since high school. Wait. You bugging, son. How you know his name? Did I say his name up here? Did I say his name up here? Who is this guy? Who is you? How you know my cousin name, man? How you know exactly who I was talking about? How do you know exactly who I was talking about? But yeah, in one of those videos, it's crazy, right? Because y'all know I grew up on the Hempstead Heights, my people, on the Hempstead Heights. Now, in those videos, I got two of some of the most official dudes from that era and Hempstead in the video. Two of the most official dudes from Hempstead in that video. So my cousin is up there, Kyrie Newkirk. Kyrie, was a very, very, very talented kid, man. He could do flips, like one of the first kids who I knew that could really do flips. Lefty, he only went to one side in basketball, but he was fast. He was athletic. Like, he was one of them dudes, man. Short cat. What am I? I'm 5'8.5", 5'9". So Kyrie had to be about 5'6", yo, around there. But I'm telling you, yo, he was feared. Somebody said you mentioned him, OutLIer. I'm just messing with you, man. One love. I didn't even know I said his name. You're a funny dude, man. But nah, I like that, man. Shout out to my boy on the check-in, Terry. I know I'm messing up your name. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm looking at the video. We freestyling, and I got one person, my cousin. His life was taken away from him. He was in that street life, man. I'm telling you, he's like one of them dudes, yo, one of them dudes. He actually, I ain't gonna tell you what happened, but he lost his life back before he was even 23. So I think he wasn't even 21 yet when he lost his life. You feel me? But he's in that video. And then I got another guy who's official, straight from Hempstead Heights, Teddy. Another cat I grew up with, man. So rest in peace to Teddy. He's another guy who, tragically lost his life. Somebody took his life also. So when I look back at some of those freestyling videos, man, you see two people who lost their life, man, in violent ways. It kind of brings you back to your childhood, you know what I mean? So when I come up here and talk, like, I keep out certain stuff. And I don't tell you guys about, real stuff that happened on the streets because, listen, my parents ain't raised me to be no gangster. They actually ain't even want me hanging out with certain people in the neighborhood. You feel me? They ain't want me hanging out with certain people in the neighborhood. When you're a kid, you don't listen. But they definitely ain't want me hanging out with certain people. So I wouldn't be giving them the proper respect that they deserve if I came up here and talked about that type of stuff, But we moving forward. I wanted to speak about that story that I wanted to mention, And I'm going to tell you, man, I don't want to get too preachy on this type of stuff. I just want to chill and relax. But I'm going to tell you something that's real, man. And I noticed it with watching these churchgoers, man. These churchgoers with these glamorous churches that show wealth. And you hear people talking about you want a God-fearing woman or a God-fearing man, or you see people, take their family to like these churches that look all nice, and the damn pastor over here looking like, $1 million, and he's sounding good, and all the music sound good. Like, that's cool. That's cool. But when I see people post that type of stuff, it ain't really the spirits. Because you know what I never see? What I never see is people posting somebody on the train who may be talking the same type of stuff, but, maybe talking something even realer. Never see people posting people like that. And I got to ask myself why. Is it because, the train isn't glamorous enough? The train doesn't say that I've succeeded, We got this cookie cutter images where, a successful family, husband, wife, we're God-fearing, I take my kids to church and stuff like that. And that's cool. That's cool. But if you just following the script, man, and just looking at stuff and saying, well, I'm going to do this just because this is what a successful image looks like, bro, you always going to be lost, man. You always going to be lost, yo. So I bring in the story that I wanted to talk to y'all about. And this story has been spoken many different ways. It's been spoken many different ways. I change stuff up. Y'all know I do, man. You know? Y'all know I do. But dig it. There was a lady, and again, I'm about to mess it up, but just bear with me, man, and get the overarching message that I'm trying to say, all right? So there was the king or Jesus or prophet. He was down in the market speaking, talking facts, right? A lady invited this man to a dinner and told him, hey, let me make you some of the finest ingredients. Let me make you a great, great, great dinner. So the prophet or preacher or Jesus, whoever it was, said, sure, you can do that for me. Sure, you can do that for me. So this woman went home. She fixed up a house. She made the finest meal that she can possibly make. Had everything set up for him. But she was finished. And then a homeless person knocked on the door. And she heard the knock and told him to go away. Just told that man to go away, like, nah, this not for you, this for somebody else. And another homeless person then came up, or another person came up. And I may be messing this stuff up, but just get what I'm saying. Just get what I'm saying, man. And then another person who was similar came, knocked on the door. And the lady was like, nah, this isn't for you. Get out of here. You're going to mess it up. So the time passed, and the prophet or Jesus or the preacher never showed up. So the next day, she went back into the market and was like, yo, what happened? You told me you was going to come, but you never showed up. What happened? And he was like, no, I came to you twice. But you turned me away both times. And I think that is a great, great, great message, man. That message tells you that don't ever look at images, man. Don't ever look at images. You got to look at and do things for the person and for the principle of it. The principle of it, man. If you care for people and you made yourself a meal and you have it to spare, just being a human, why wouldn't you give it to that homeless person? The preacher don't really need that. You understand what I'm saying? But if you're doing it for the people, then you would let that person eat. You feel me? But the fact of the matter is, a lot of people don't do it for the message. They doing it just for the image, And they doing it because, okay, I want to look good. I want to feel good. But it's not about actually doing stuff for the people, son. Doing stuff for the people. My boy Rubik's Cube with the question sign. What you questioning, my brother? What are you questioning, my brother? Maybe I could clarify. But yeah, that always bothered me, man. And I think that's like the kind of society that we're living in, man, where nobody is really getting into what they really want, what really makes them happy. And we just follow what society tells us is successful, and people just trying to fit that image, man, and knock off and just put a check by that mark, as if that is truly what's gonna make you happy. But we gotta really figure out what makes us happy, man. Who are you as a person, you know? What gives you those pings in life? It may not be the same thing that give other people pings, you know what I mean? If just because they say going to church and this, that, and the third makes you a responsible and respectful person, and you want people to look at you as respectful and responsible, so you showing them that image, it's like kind of defeats the purpose if that's not really what satisfies you. And when we look at self-sabotage, you know, I'm not going to say what I really mean by that, but people trying to unalive themselves and people not being happy and people looking for distractions and alcohol abuse and substance abuse. I think it all comes and stems from us not truly understanding who we are, you know. But, you know, it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. I feel that humans, when we're born, we're blank slates. However, we are social animals. We're social creatures. And as societies get bigger and populations grow, you need to control people, man. You know, And America wouldn't be able to work if it was just ruled by people's impulses, you know? Because listen, I'm a selfish person, and I like that white car right there. In a lawless society, somebody would just come up and just take it, you know what I mean? So I look at society as being like the software that wherever you're born, that's the software that gets installed on you. And you live and learn to live by those values. And these are things that helped the people and the population from, that area survive. And these things become living, and they become like best practices. And that's the software that you get installed with. Well, not so much installed, but they get installed on you when you're born. You feel me? And I think that that's a way that we can control large populations. So there's nothing wrong with that, but I think that we are living in a society where, we're kind of getting away from some of that type of stuff. And that was good for our ancestors who were just leaving Africa, moving into different places. And now, as our population started growing, that was good for that time. But I think we're growing out of that, man. And, we're going to have to produce something that's more substantial and that's more sustainable, because that old method, I think, is really backfiring now, really backfiring. But that's all I got today, man. I'd like to thank you guys for taking this long walk with me, this journey through my mind, me explaining how I feel. I like when you guys listen. I wish more people would say stuff and let me know what's going on with them, so I get a little bit more, more feelings into how y'all feel. But it is what it is, my people. It is what it is with my people. I'm about to head over here, catch that train. I love y'all. Again, I'm going to the St. Thomas this weekend. I'm going to St. Thomas, so a brother will not be on here during the week doing my lives, but I will keep producing videos for you cats, man, telling you guys some of these stories which happened in New York, stories of human persistence, stories of humans coming together, and just things to make you smile as a human being and happy to be a human, But that's all I got, man. I love you cats. Thank you dudes for checking on. This is the OutLIer B. Peace out, man.